I can tell you how big his winker is. It's pretty small.
No, it's not. I could tell you plenty of times.
It's about
I've
that
known
big.
him for 7 years.
It's about that big.
Not, definitely not. And don't you dare tell him about his penis. All we're here to do is...
When we conceived my child, I told him I just had my period.
That's a lie.
He said, shut up, and we kept going at it.
Oh, wow.
She had threw up like 3 or 4 times because she was feeling sick. We purchased the pregnancy tests, went back to the house. She took them. One had a faint line, and then one had both lines. And I was happy. That was the best day of my life.
That's not your baby. You're right. That's not your baby. Somebody else's daddy. Somebody else's. Take him all the way completely off of you. Period. Now, and I'm finna come get my own baby. How about that? That's mine. That's my baby.
Whoa.
Case 1. Jalen suddenly snapped and told Donya to come grab the baby, demanded a DNA test out of nowhere. 1 minute things were calm, the next he was denying the child like a switch flip.
My son was over his house. He was only over there 5 days, and he texted me like, you need to get your son, and I'm not getting him until I get a blood test. And I have here some evidence too.
What kind of evidence?
A message.
So wait, out of the blue, you all are co-parenting this little boy. How old is Jaden?
2.
2 years old, you're co-parenting him. Out of the blue, he said, come get your son?
Yeah.
Instead of talking to Doa, Jalan listened to a random girl's rumor that the baby might not be his. No questions, no conversation, just vanished from the picture like smoke.
Actually, a week ago, me and my son was in the house playing around. I went outside. A girl told me she had something to tell me about my baby mother. She said Ms. Johnson told another girl that Jaden wasn't mine. I inboxed Ms. Johnson and told her I don't want him another day.
At that point, you're thinking this is my biological child. I'm spending time with my son.
He came in swinging with proof. A voicemail where Daniqua shouted, "He's not the father!" The courtroom fell into stunned silence. She claimed it was anger talking, not the truth.
That's not your baby. You're right. That's not your baby. Somebody else's daddy. Somebody else's. Take him all the way completely off of you. Period. Now, and I'm finna come get my own baby. How about that? That's mine. That's my baby.
Whoa. Miss Johnson, is that you?
Yes, it is me.
Then the moms jumped in accusations flying over who's really raising the baby. Chaos broke out like a holiday family fight, and Judge Lake had to shut it down fast.
He don't have to have receipts. She know we do for
No,
him.
for free. That you don't do nothing.
It don't. I buy him stuff. It doesn't matter. He being taken care of.
who in your house?
At the end of the day, when he's at my house and Jalen has something to do, Miss Johnson will not come and get him. I text her one time, my daughter texted her and said, can you come and get him? My mama need to go to the hospital. She never showed up.
Jalan's relatives were at the hospital when baby Jaden was born, beaming with pride. Now they sat in court filled with doubt, wondering if it was all just wishful thinking.
Was the whole family there?
Whole family.
Mr. Taylor,
I had to
Mr.
pull him
Taylor?
out.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you remember when your son said somebody told me that the baby's not mine?
Actually, I didn't hear that until just recently.
She be a little too busy, so she'll never be at the home.
Too busy to find out the grandchild she thinks is hers is not her biological child?
He tried to do the right thing and scheduled a DNA test, but Daniqua ghosted. Her excuse? Jalan had never questioned paternity before. Judge Lake raised an eyebrow at that.
This paperwork confirms that you did go and submit to the DNA testing.
Yes, Your Honor.
You had it done, but what you're saying is she never showed.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you not show up with Jaden, Miss Johnson?
Not intentionally.
But Jaden was about 9 months old when this happened.
Daniqua argued that the baby had a heart murmur just like Jalanan saw it as a sign he was the father. But Judge Leek wasn't convinced and called in a medical expert.
This is just basically his eczema that he has and a heart murmur, yes.
And a heart murmur.
If you look at...
Just like Mr. Taylor has.
And you believe that these are 2 medical issues that the child has in common with Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor, do you have a heart murmur?
Yes, I do.
The doctor shut it down immediately, explaining heart murmurs aren't passed down genetically. The courtroom energy dropped to everyone looked like their theories had just shattered.
So a heart murmur is really just an abnormal sound in the heart rhythm. Normally you're used to listening to the heart and it goes lub-dub. With a heart murmur, you may have an extra sound or some sounds that are not classic to the normal pattern. There is not a genetic link with heart murmurs. The majority of heart murmurs are innocent heart murmurs, meaning they're just changes in flow. They come on with either a newborn right at birth, or they have in an adult, they have something to do with.
Turns out the baby was conceived during a game of truth or dare. The entire courtroom gasped. Even Judge Lake couldn't hide her reaction, just pure disbelief.
Who I ran away from my mom's house. He knows it. We had played a game of truth or dare one time, which led to us having a baby.
We didn't have sex that day. We had
So what?
sex
But
the
you
next
just
day.
and you already told the conception date and everything. You know this. I don't even know why you sitting up here playing with me.
She ran away to his house?
She actually ran away.
Daniqua broke down, saying she didn't care anymore, but Judge Lake stepped in sharply, reminding her that the baby still deserves the truth and a father who shows up.
I don't care. I don't care about this. I'm ready for this to be over with. I don't even care no more.
You don't care if
No,
the child
I don't
knows
care.
his biological father?
He don't need him.
He does.
No,
if
he don't.
If he's his biological father,
No,
baby,
he don't. Or you.
Baby, he needs his father and you need yours. Let me tell you something.
And finally, the moment of truth arrived. The DNA results were in. The courtroom leaned in, ready for answers that could change everything.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Taylor, you are the father.
Case 2, Mr. Webb stood firm in court, claiming he never even crossed the line into baby-making territory. But Miss Cole and her mom fired back, instantly stopped the lies. You know what happened.
Mr. Webb, you and your girlfriend say there's no chance whatsoever that you fathered the defendant's 6-month-old daughter, Majestic. You say your evidence will shock this courtroom.
Cole insisted the magic moment was April 11. Webb looked baffled, saying he was planted on the couch that whole day. Their timelines were from different dimensions.
I know for a fact the dates line up, and I know he stayed with me for 2 months, and he slept in my bed with me for one night, and we had sex April 11th.
What was the nature of your relationship?
We never had sex or anything. We were just friends. We would chill out. That was it.
You were never intimate with her in any way?
I never stayed in her bedroom. I stayed out on the couch.
Webb argued their biggest moment was snapping a bathroom. Selfie, nothing more. He was shocked when Miss Cole posted it like they were newlyweds.
Your Honor, the worst that we've ever done is take a picture, and she was already in the bathroom. She had called me in there. When I walked in the bathroom, she said cheese and took a picture before I could even say anything. I didn't even want to take that picture. That's how crazy she is. She posted it on Facebook, and when I told her to take it down, she refused to because she's crazy.
Come on, you know dang good and well that me and my husband took care of you the whole time you were there.
Miss Cole's mother said they gave Webb food, rides, and support. Webb denied it all, and soon everyone was shouting over each other like it was a Thanksgiving gone wrong.
He's a punk bum. We
Honor,
supplied everything for them. Their food, everything.
I wasn't living there. We were hanging out for a week and a half. Right. And on top of that, April 18th, I had moved back to Detroit. How was I there for 3 months? She had knew about it. We were friends. She trusts me. She knows I'm not like that. I don't do that type of stuff.
I've known him for 7 years and he's not like that at all.
To back himself up, Webb dropped screenshots like a student presenting a science fair project. One message showed a baby pic she sent, saying the baby looked like him. Webb replied, "That's a blurry ultrasound, not a face."
She messaged me saying, "Hey, I got an ultrasound." I had said, "Okay, can we leave it at that, Tasha? It's not my baby. I'm not trying to." At this point, I'm thinking, I feel like she's trying to say that I'm the baby daddy, but just hinting, not actually saying. What came next? I told her, I said, "I'm not trying to be mean. I just want this to end."
Suddenly, Miss Cole dropped the bomb. Well, there might have been someone else. Webb leaned back smugly as if waiting for applause.
Did he ever acknowledge that he was the father?
I admitted to my cousin that he was the dad.
Why manufacture all of this?
I think she's obsessed with me. Something.
No.
I don't know what it is. I've been trying to figure out
There's
the
one
last
reason
year.
why I'm here.
Her
To
dad
know
is.
for sure he's the dad, because I did have another partner. It was a month.
Then Miss Cole pulled out a calendar with a bright circle around one date her so-called conception clue. Webb looked like he wanted to melt into his seat.
In red is the date you were intimate with Mr. Webb, on the 11th of April.
Yeah.
The window of conception is in blue.
Yeah.
So that's the week prior to the 11th. And then Majestic was born on the 28th of January, correct?
Yes.
When were you intimate with the other guy?
May 15th, 16th.
How do you get those two mixed up? That's over a month. How you gonna say that you think it's him and then over a month?
And just when things couldn't get more awkward, she started describing Webb's private parts out loud. The courtroom collectively winced, and his current girlfriend was ready to throw hands.
I can tell you how big his winker is. It's pretty small.
No, it's not. I could tell you plenty of times.
It's about that
I've known him
big.
for 7 years.
It's
no,
about that
definitely
big.
not. Definitely not. And don't you dare tell him about his penis.
All we're here to do
More screenshots emerged, turning the case into digital chaos. One message claimed the dad was either wed or a white man Judge Lake rubbed her temples like she'd seen too much.
These are text messages of her telling me that it's either me or the other guy. She's not even for sure. It's just until now that she decided that it's for sure 100% me.
No.
But does that text?
Nothing about this is hard. It's not my baby, so just stop, man. This is from you. I hope you find whoever it is. It's you or a white dude. It will be clear when I see her.
The debate turned to skin tone, one camp swearing the baby looked white, the other saying brown. Judge Lake stared blankly like she couldn't believe this was real life.
And that baby don't look nothing like.
So you're saying there's absolutely no resemblance?
Absolutely nothing.
That baby's just straight white.
I ain't white, I'm brown.
You're not that brown.
Yes, he is. He's Puerto Rican and Indian. Yeah, he's brown.
You see my skin color? Are you blind?
You've seen his body, so you know he
somebody
is
get this
brown.
girl some glasses.
Miss Cole, has she ever said, Mom, really the other guy's the father? Or is she really hoping Mr. Webb is the father?
No.
Finally, after all the yelling, cringing, and plot twist, Judge Lake held the envelope tight. Everyone leaned forward as she said the words, "Here are the DNA results."
Has been determined by this court. Mr. Webb, you are not her father.
Oh, yeah. You're crazy. You need to go to a mental hospital.
Case 3 before the case even kicks off, chaos is already brewing. Miss Lockage storms in confident that Mr. Tidwell fathered her 10-month-old son, King. Meanwhile, Mr. Tidwell looks like he walked into the wrong courtroom, insisting they were never really together, and someone else must be the dad.
Ms. Lockridge, you've dragged the defendant, Mr. Tidwell, to court because he has refused to acknowledge your 10-month-old son, King. You are 100% sure he's the father and claim today's results will prove your case. You say you were never in a serious relationship with Ms. Lockridge and you were stunned when she told you she was pregnant.
If confusion was a game, these two would take home the trophy. Miss Lockage claims Mr. Tidwell vanished from the parenting CNO diapers. No calls, no visits. She even traveled miles just so he could meet his son, but he still barely showed interest.
Your Honor, Mr. Tidwell does not have a relationship with my son. The only time he's actually seen my son is when I've made it a convenience for him and brought him to him. That means traveling 4 hours on bus. He hasn't helped with diapers. He barely helped with any clothes, and it hurt. It's frustrating. He named my son King, and how am I supposed to raise a king, and he's not there?
You named him King, Mr. Tidwell?
Yes, Your Honor. The first big reveal, an ultrasound photo taped to his bed. Miss Lockage says she left it for him to see his brother was home. Tidwell insists he found out through a random text later and felt ambushed. Yep, it's already getting messy.
She came over to my house. We hung out. The next day, I see a piece of paper on my bed. I grabbed it, I looked at it. It was a note with an ultrasound in it. I'm not sure the exact words of the note, but it said that she didn't know how to tell me this, and she's sorry she had to tell me like that. So I called her, she didn't answer the phone. She ended up leaving me a text message saying that she was sorry and that she didn't know how to tell me that she was pregnant.
Now, cue the most uncomfortable pregnancy convo ever. Miss Lockage testifies that she mentioned being on her period, but Tidwell told her to shut up and moved forward anyway. His reaction? Total denial. He called the claim ridiculous and looked like he couldn't believe his ears.
When we conceived my child, I told him I just had my period.
That's a lie, Your Honor.
He said, shut up, and we kept going at it.
Oh,
That's
wow.
a lie, Your Honor.
You thought that he wanted or didn't mind if he got you pregnant.
I mean, he just got another girl pregnant 4 months prior, and I asked him, what you gonna do about it? He said, if it's mine, then I'm gonna take care of it. So next time I come over, heck yeah, I'm excited.
The heartbreak continues. Miss Lockage says she kept him updated every step of the way doctor visits. Heartbeat recordings, everything. Still, he never showed up. She gave birth alone after 36 painful hours, with only a nurse by her
I
side.
didn't care about, I texted him when I was every doctor's appointment. I even sent him voice recordings of the heartbeat, all that. Like, when I had my son, I was in labor for 36 hours, completely by myself, to the point where the nurse that was with me, she had to call the doctor and ask the doctor if she could stay with me, because I was by myself.
Then things spiral into, he said, she said territory. Mr. Tidwell's mom claims Lockage abandoned the baby at their place for 2 weeks. Lockage pushes back, saying she asked them to help while she worked.
I don't understand how a mother could actually leave her child with that she doesn't really even know very well for 2 weeks.
It wasn't
and
2
get
weeks.
on the
It was
plane,
Thursday to
go
Tuesday
to
to Nevada,
saying she had a modeling job. Just all of a sudden, just jumps up and leaves this baby with us. We took care of the baby at that time.
I call her, I'm like, when are you coming back? Like, I have stuff to do too. I have, you know what I mean? All of a sudden, boom, she was there.
It all turns into a courtroom version of, who does he look like? Lockage holds up Baby King's photo saying he resembles Tidwell's side of the family to a Taven, calling him their little Ethiopian baby.
So here's the first picture. That is my son, King. And here is the second picture. That is Mr. Tidwell. The thing that catches me up is he looks like his side of the family.
He looks like an Ethiopian baby.
Really?
Yes, he does to me.
That's King.
And the next photo is Mr. Tidwell as a baby.
Look at the ear marks, the ear tags. There's nobody else.
Do you see a resemblance?
No.
And finally, after all the arguing, finger-pointing, and emotional bombs, Judge Lake picks up the envelope. The courtroom holds its breath as she announces, "Here are the DNA results."
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Tidwell, you are not his father.
Case 4, Mr. Fisher thought he was stepping into fatherhood with certainty. He proudly signed Sophia's birth certificate, unaware that his world was about to be turned upside down. A month later, Miss Doyle dropped a bomb she had been unfaithful.
Mr. Fisher, you claim you made the biggest mistake of your life by signing the birth certificate for 2-month-old Sophia. You say your fiance dropped a bomb on you just 1 month ago and admitted you may not be her father.
Yes, Your Honor.
The twist? She confessed, hoping against hope that Mr. Fisher was still the biological father. She praised his loyalty and warmth, but even she knew their relationship was hanging by a single fraying thread.
Miss Doyle?
I think that he is the father. I know 100%. I mean, he was there through the whole pregnancy. He does everything for me. He works, he supports our family, he runs my baths, he cooks my food. He rubs my back and rubs my feet. He's a great father, very loving. He's a very loving father and a very loving fiance.
It all began like something out of a romance novel. Mr. Fisher remembered being drawn to Miss Doyle's charm and genuine heart. But what started as a dream quickly spiraled into a devastating reality.
When me and one of her family members met, we became best friends. Like, we was close like this. He took me around her and I just fell for her. And ever since then, I've loved her. She's beautiful. Her eyes, amazing. Her body, she's gorgeous. And she treats me like a man wanted to be treated, all the way up until this happened.
The betrayal wasn't even based on truth. Miss Doyle admitted she cheated after hearing a false rumor about Mr. Fisher. Instead of confronting him, she made a reckless decision, one based on nothing but lies.
I was on vacation with one of his family members in Florida, and another one of his family members that he was with at the time had texted me. He said, "Trey's cheating on you," which we call him Trey, but his name is John. Me, I was hurt. A guy walked up to me. "Do you want to go to my camper and talk?" So go back to his camper with him and we talked about it, and then one thing led to another. He kissed me and then we had sex.
Pregnant and drowning in secrets, Miss Doyle watched Mr. Fisher celebrate the baby news with pure joy. Behind her smile was a storm of guilt she couldn't bring herself to reveal.
The day that I found out she was pregnant, she had threw up like 3 or 4 times because she was feeling sick. We purchased the pregnancy tests, went back to the house. She took them. One had a faint line, and then one had both lines. And I was happy. That was the best day of my life.
She wanted to confess so many times. Her conscience begged her to come clean, but she stayed silent. Mr. Fisher was even planning a proposal unaware the woman he loved was hiding the biggest truth of all.
I told her, I went to work that day, and I was thinking about proposing to her because I love her. She's my world. I got home that day. I had the ring in my pocket. I told her how I felt. I said, "I love you, you're my world, you're everything I've ever wanted. I want to take this family to a whole nother level. Will you marry me?" And she said yes.
The day Sophia arrived should have been one of the happiest. Mr. Fisher was glowing with pride, signing the birth certificate without hesitation. Meanwhile, Miss Doyle's heart was pounding, knowing that reality would catch up soon.
When she was giving birth, I held her hand. I felt like I was the dad, which at the time, I kept telling her, push, I want to see my baby. And afterwards, I signed the birth certificate and everything because I thought it was my baby. We stayed there for 3 days. Those 3 days were the most important, amazing, wonderful thing that I have ever felt in my life.
It all unraveled in court. Miss Doyle admitted the timeline was off, and a legal calendar showed Mr. Fisher might not be the biological father. He stared at the evidence, stunned, and then made a choice. No one expected.
Sophia was born on January 15th. You took vacation April 21st to May 1st, and that's the window of time in which you cheated. Admitted.
Yes, Your Honor.
When you calculate it, the window of conception would be between April 19th to April 26th for a child born on January 15th.
Yes, Your Honor.
He didn't run. Instead, Mr. Fisher looked at her and said, "No matter what, I love Sophie Ann. I love you." Miss Doyle broke into tears, overwhelmed by the grace she felt she didn't deserve. And then the DNA envelope was open.
I'm sorry that it happened, and if she's yours, then I hope that.
Let me tell you this. You ain't got to be guilty about it no more. I know about it, and I know you're sorry. Just don't hold it on me no more. That's my baby no matter what, and you're my wife. I love you.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Fisher, you are the father.
Case 5. This case kicked off with chaos before anyone could even blink. Danielle lied, had lived her whole life 26 years thinking Mr. Ellis was her father. But Mr. Ellis came in calm and cool, claiming that's impossible because her mother was out running the streets.
Ms. Lyde, you say that for 26 years you have known only one man, the defendant, Mr. Ellis, to be your biological father. And you're devastated that he is claiming you're not his. You say that Ms. Lyde's mother was unfaithful during your 7-year relationship and that you are certain you are not Ms. Lyde's biological father.
Danielle opened up about her childhood, and it was tough to hear. She bounced between foster homes, never had a stable male figure, and felt the void of not having a dad. Her pain was real raw, and you could hear it in her voice.
I didn't really have a relationship with Mr. Ellis. Growing up, it was just me and my mom. I've been in and out of group homes, foster homes, no male role model in my life. It's been hard. I had a long, hard life growing up.
When you hear her talk about her life without you.
Then came the wild part, Mr. Ellis said Danielle couldn't be his because she was too light-skinned. He even added that her mother would vanish for long stretches, so she had to be with other men. The court side-eyed that logic hard.
Not her father. I mean, her mother, she disappears weeks at a time, out there partying. Look how bright she is. I mean, I ain't no doctor or nothing, but I'm pretty sure two people this color ain't gonna make no baby this bright-skinned. I mean, she was practically white.
I don't feel like that's correct because my son was white with black hair and blue eyes. I'm not white. I don't have blue eyes.
Mr. Ellis didn't stop. There he claimed a DNA test had already proven he wasn't the father years ago. According to him, the result was clear as day, 99.9%, not the dad. So he stopped paying child support and moved on. But the next twist hit like a truck.
I was away, her mother called child support on me. They came and took the DNA test.
You got the results back?
I got the results back. It was 99.9 that I wasn't the father. So I showed her the paperwork.
So wouldn't you want to keep some kind of information or record so if I did grow up and I had questions,
no, I
say,
would not.
hey,
I would not want to keep that kind of information.
Danielle's mom stepped up and dropped a bombshell of her own. She said their DNA test said the exact opposite, that Mr. Ellis was the father. Now we've got 2 DNA tests saying completely different things. Who's lying? Or is this one massive mistake?
Not her father. I mean, her mother, she disappears weeks at a time, out there partying. Look how bright she is. I mean, I ain't no doctor or nothing, but I'm pretty sure two people this color ain't gonna make no baby this bright-skinned. I mean, she was practically white.
I don't feel like that's correct because my son was white with black hair and blue eyes. I'm not white. I don't have blue eyes.
By now, emotions were exploding. Danielle had a knew she was furious at both her mom and Mr. Ellis. She poured her heart out, saying her father's absence left her lost in life, making choices she regrets. And just when things got quiet, bam, more drama.
I was away, her mother called child support on me. They came and took the DNA test.
You got the results back?
I got the results back. It was 99.9 that I wasn't the father. So I showed her the paperwork.
So wouldn't you want to keep some kind of information or record so if I did grow up and I had questions,
no, I
say,
would not.
hey,
I would not want to keep that kind of information.
Danielle opened up deeper, explaining how growing up without a father damaged her self-esteem. She never knew how to recognize a good man and struggled in relationships. It was painful. And then enter Grandma Ellis.
DNA test was performed, yes or no?
Yes.
What were the results?
They said in the court 99% yes.
That 99.9% that yes, he was Danielle's biological father.
Yes, that's
Thank you
our
so much.
report.
That's what I wanted to know. You may be seated.
Mr. Ellis's mother wasn't holding back either. She said she never believed Danielle was her granddaughter. Why? Because as a baby, Danielle looked too old. And because a neighbor said something about her having a brother. Yes, she said that with a straight face.
I don't look like most of the people on my mom's side of the family, so I know there has to be some kind of connection. People do things in life that is unexplainable. Me, I look at myself and I love myself. I look at myself in the mirror every day and I appreciate myself. If another human being on this earth don't want to accept me for who I am, that's not going to stop me from loving me for who I am.
Danielle brought up a painful memory from when she was just 10. She saw Grandma Ellis on a trolley, introduced herself, and got told, "Get out of my face before I slap you." The courtroom gasped. Grandma denied it ever happened, but someone's not telling the truth.
I feel like if I had a male role model You know, I wouldn't have to go out there and experience the things I experienced looking for love in a man. Like, I should have had that firm man connection bond to where I know what to look in a man. Being with your dad, father-daughter dances, you know, just having that role model I can call on when I'm going through something, or just the extra shoulder and support to cry on.
Judge Lake stepped in like a referee in the final round. She pointed out that Danielle has believed one thing her whole life.
When I first saw the baby at a month old, she looked 4 months old. And from what I had heard from my son, her father's a great big man. What I heard from my neighbor, she has a little brother that she and the little brother were like twins, and the grandmother, Miss Slide Seniors, brought the baby over in the house behind mine every day for a week.
While Mr. Ellis claims to have hard proof, but no one's actually seen it. It's been all accusations, no solid evidence.
I was 10. I want to introduce myself like, you know, I'm Mr. Ellis's daughter. On my face, or I will smack you.
What? She's lying. This little girl slid up, teenager. She said, hi. I said, hello. Do you know me? I said, no. Should I? I'm your granddaughter. I said, no, you're not. I said, I know who her daddy is, and you're not gonna put that on my son. And they're both lying.
An attorney came in to explain how things could have gotten so twisted. Apparently, child support orders can get messed up, and sometimes people pay for kids that aren't biologically theirs. A legal mix-up? Maybe. But what if this was a personal failure?
Family attorney for the last 17 years, stranger things have happened in family court. Child support is not for the mother to waive. So even if Mrs. Lyde's mom said, you know, we're on good terms, I'll waive it. You can't do that because the Department of Child Support Services is there and they're involved, and they're gonna enforce the order if in fact the father is the father and there's enough income to enforce this order.
And then, the moment everyone had been waiting for, Judge Lake held up the envelope. The entire room froze wide, hearts racing, and finally, she revealed what the DNA test actually said.
Mr. Ellis, you are the father.
Whoa! I knew it. Yes.